Clay Christensen is one of the most influential business theorists of the last 50 years. Clay Christensen.
Almost all companies which at one point were widely regarded as unassailably successful, a decade or two later you find them in the middle of the pack and often at the bottom of the heap. And so that's been something I've been studying for 20 years. Reached the strangest conclusion. And that is, it's actually the principles of business school that cause every successful company ultimately to fail. And so I want to go through a couple of those ideas that relate to that. We teach that you always need to understand the customer. Turns out that's always wrong. The customer is the wrong unit of analysis. Some of you have heard the word disruptive innovation before. I'd like to just take a couple of slides for those of you who aren't familiar with it to just go through the basic idea. The evidence is that if an innovation helps the leaders in their industry make better products that they could sell for better profits to their best customers, they always figure out how to get it done. But we saw that there was a different type of innovation that always killed the leaders in an industry, and we called this one a disruptive innovation. And we use the word disruptive not because it's a breakthrough improvement, but instead of sustaining that trajectory, it disrupted it by bringing to the market a product that actually wasn't as good as the ones up on the blue trajectory were making. What we found is that invariably an entrant company entered and became the new leader when one of these disruptive innovations emerged. This model helped us understand why something that makes so much sense is actually impossible to do for smart people. Now, you notice I was able to tell the story without using the word stupid manager once. Toyota, do you remember how they entered the market? Not with Lexuses, but in the 60s they came in with these crummy little subcompacts. In America we called it a Corona. And then they went from Corona to Tercel to a Corolla to a Camry to an Avalon to a 4Runner to a Sequoia and then to a Lexus. And General Motors and Ford were up there making big cars for big people. And they looked down at Toyota coming at them, and every once in a while they'd say, you know, we ought to go compete against those buggers. And so they'd send down a Chevette or a Pinto. Who's killing Toyota? They do not feel like they're being killed, incidentally. Yeah, the Koreans have really stolen the low end of the market. Now, let me talk a little bit about convergence in a way that I hope, at least the way I have come to think about the challenge. Now, you can almost describe the history of every industry as a set of concentric circles. And the folks in the center usually are where industries begin. The customers there are people who have the most money, and the suppliers are the people who have the most sophisticated technology. If we know what the job to be done is, and every job has an emotional, a functional, and a social dimension to the job, then we know what experiences in purchasing and using the product that we have to provide so that they will do the job perfectly. And in order to provide those experiences, it tells us then what we have to integrate and how we have to integrate the experiences to get the job done well.